Wow, Bloomberg just did a really cool video on Elon Musk's super lawyer. I want to go ahead and dive into exactly the case that this lawyer has worked on for Elon Musk. Let's go ahead and touch on a Mr. Beast case as well that this lawyer has helped with. And I want to go ahead and react to the video that Bloomberg made on this lawyer. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, in 2019, Spiro defended Elon Musk, and we'll talk about this more because it's in the video. We'll react to it in the defamation case when Elon made an explicit tweet regarding somebody on Twitter, and he was ultimately, this attorney helped. The jury found Musk not liable. Spiro also represented Musk in a suit brought by shareholders over Tesla acquiring Solar City. In 2023, the presiding judge declared Musk not liable for pushing shareholders to overpay for the Solar City acquisition. That was a big deal. Okay, let's cover a couple more cases. I also want to cover the case that Mr. Beast hired this attorney for. In 2022, Musk took control of Twitter, and Spiro had an active role in that. He also was helping with Twitter's legal, marketing, and trust and safety teams. In 2023, Spiro represented Elon Musk in a securities fraud trial, leading to a verdict that Musk was found not liable. And that was the whole funding secured guy. So like this attorney, Elon really trusts Spiro. So this is where it's funny. So Spiro also represented Tesla in a retrial that happened in a lawsuit from a worker that was facing racism, that alleged facing racism at Tesla's premises. Initially, he was awarded $136.9 million. After the retrial, with Spiro on the defense team, he reduced the damages to approximately $3.2 million. So this guy, from $136 million, Spiro wasn't on the defense team, from what I can tell. Once he gets on the defense team, $3.2 million. Absolutely crazy. And then in 2024, Spiro represented Musk in a defamation lawsuit from Benjamin Brody that accused Musk of falsely suggesting that Brody was a government agent who participated in neo-Nazi brawl. I don't think that this case has concluded yet because I don't see if he was found liable or not, but nonetheless, still interesting. And in 2024, he defended Musk against the defendant Elon after the SEC renewed its investigation into Neuralink. So Spiro has been involved in Elon Musk's ventures for quite some time, ever since 2019, and we'll go ahead and react to that in the video. But Spiro also has represented Mr. Beast when Mr. Beast had that employee known as Dogpack 404 start making in-depth videos about Mr. Beast's content, accusing him of rigging competitions, doing illegal giveaways, and even lying about the healthiness of his chocolate bars. So Mr. Beast hired Spiro, who Elon Musk had hired. He also has worked with high-profile clients like Alex Baldwin. So this was super interesting. Sorry, I wasn't sharing my screen for that part. There wasn't too much, but this is obviously a big deal to a very expensive lawyer. I think in the video he says that he works for $3,000 an hour, which is absolutely crazy. Let's go ahead and react to the video.
Spiro first met Musk back in 2018. Musk was in hot water over his infamous pedo guy tweet, referring to a cave diver involved in rescuing a group of.
So this was a big deal. There was a cave of 5 people. There was a cave. I can't remember how many people there were. I think there's like in the teens, 10 to 20 kids stuck in a cave. And Elon was trying to help, and he got in a Twitter spat. I remember this. And he tweeted at somebody, "Sorry, pedo guy." And watch how Alex Spiro won this case for Elon.
Teens in Thailand. The diver sued for defamation, and Musk's chances in court didn't look good until Spiro came on board. Spiro's argument to the jury: the tweet just wasn't a big deal.
The only thing I'm going to say is the jury got this right, and we don't have any further comment at this time.
In the end, what he really convinced them of is that he was just joking. It was just a joke. And I think, in a lot of ways, that case shows how, the modern social media environment kind of just opens it up to this, cavalier talk that in past might have led to a defamation victory. And that's one of his core tenets of his practice, is to say, just because you went on Twitter and you said something doesn't mean that you're the worst person in the history of the world.
It is now said by this jury that
So you had Spiro kind of take this, what normally would have been probably a defamation win, and he kind of dumped it. And I was like, look, everything you say on the internet, Elon, look at the history of how Elon talks. It was a joke. So that's kind of how he won that case. Keep watching.
How all
minor violation of law.
media.
Somebody's going to say that some minor violation of law,
is him, obviously,
like some, an upgrade, or somebody sends a tweet out, or violated some horrific law. They have to ask themselves, well, what was in that person's mind at the time? Were they saying to themselves, I'm about to cross some bright line that subjects myself to prison? Were they really thinking that way?
I think Spiro's argument was like pretty savvy, and it was based on an understanding of what Elon Musk does. Because like there's no law against being an is the thing. And I think one thing that's interesting about that case, not just from a kind of like how did he win perspective, but from a sort of business and power perspective, is I think that is what unleashes, you know, Elon Musk in a big way. It's what gives Elon permission, not just legal permission, but maybe cultural permission to sort of go wild on Twitter, which ultimately led to his acquisition of Twitter, to his embrace of these kind of extreme political positions.
The Twitter takeover. That one got real messy. You were in the trenches. What worked? What didn't work?
Well, his decision to acquire the company obviously worked. He is glad he bought it. And Elon is very much experimenting as he goes.
So
and that's
interesting.
part of
What
it.
they didn't say is Spiro couldn't get him out of the pickle of not buying the company. And I bet Spiro, because he talks about it later in the video. Now we're not going to watch the whole video, but he says this. He's like, I will tell you the unpopular thing. Like, I will not tell you what you want to hear. I will tell you what I think is right and wrong. And I bet, obviously this is just my opinion. I have nothing to back this up, but I bet Elon got himself so involved in the acquisition, and Elon wanted to back out at one point. We're not going to go through the whole history of that acquisition. If you want to read about it in Elon's book, in the biography about Elon, it goes into the depth of it. I bet Spiro was like, dude, you're too far gone. Let's just try to get as good of a deal as possible. Like, just buy it. And that's just my guess. Maybe that didn't happen. Maybe he wasn't involved in that part, but I bet maybe he could have said something like, hey, Elon, you got to buy this.
It's genius. And so it may at moments look, as you put it, messy, but this is what the great experimenters have always done.
What about the method? Like, you know, there was this report that you guys were yelling at each other in a conference room. How does someone like that respond to pushback?
Everybody I advise is used to my pushback. I don't know how they take it. They probably curse me out at times, but I think ultimately when the movie's over, people will be thankful that I told them the truth.
Elon tweeted, if any judge anywhere can block every presidential, this is a lawyer.
I don't
with
politics.
the law.
I'm not so sure it has to do with me.
She gets into Elon's politics and he kind of shuts down. He's like, I'm not going to talk about this. Then they just kind of go into who this guy is. He plays basketball with former NBA players. And then he talks about how he represented the governor. There's not too much, but I thought this was absolutely fascinating in meeting Elon Musk's lawyer and who he is and how Elon puts important people in his corner, and just kind of how this lawyer isn't just somebody that goes like, hey, obviously he does things according to the law, but he's like, I like to kind of put the narrative around it. And I think that's why these high profile guys really like him, is because he understands like the social concepts of what is going on, like what is a tweet. Because in a defamation case, it's almost black and white. Like, yeah, like Elon shouldn't have said that. But in the context of, it was a tweet, it was a 2-word thing in a tweet amongst Elon's 50 tweets that day. It's like, okay, I really like how Bloomberg put this, and where you were able to kind of see the narrative of who this guy is. He looks like a really cool guy. He looks like there's a reason that Elon has stuck with him and he's saved Elon's companies at least hundreds of millions of dollars, at least $100 million, like we saw in that case. So I just thought it was a really cool video to react to. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked it, consider subscribing and let me know what you guys think down in the comments.